Shalom, Kol Haloyim, La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of Ruwell, who have taught us this knowledge. Shalom to you, sincere Akim out there that's doing the work of truth sincerity. Shalom to you. Shalom to the Akhwat that believe as well. Back at you with another lesson. And this came across my YouTube homepage where, videos are just, as you scroll down, you brothers know what I'm talking about. And I caught this video and it says, while you were asleep, night vision camera captures something unexplainable. And when I watched the video, lo and behold, this camera had captured chariots. All right, the chariots was moving about the firmament and entering in and entering out of earth, and that's scripture, and I entitled this video, as you can see, it says, something that's unexplainable, and I simply just titled it, we can explain what this is, right? Because the chariots, which Edom, the so-called white man, he calls them the UFOs, all right? And you go through the scriptures, you'll see many examples of the chariots which have the angels in them. And this is the reason, this is the reason why Esau is creating the Space Force, okay? Because the angels and the chariots that move to and fro. So let me dive right into it. Lord willing, this video is edifying and fair use, by the way. I don't know who this individual, Plant Abundance. It says Plant Abundance, right? But I don't know this individual. I didn't look up his channel or nothing. I just seen the clip. So so it's like he's just a venture guy, something like that. But I never seen all his videos. Okay, so he got a few videos on the chariots, man. Okay, so hold on. It says they've been hiding from you. They've been hiding this from you. He got several videos. Salakia. I never looked on this channel until now, so Salakia. Looks like he got plenty of videos on the chariots. Okay. So Plant Abundance. Y'all don't know who you are. It says seed planting garden warrior for, it says Christ, So he's probably one of those Christians. See, this is something you don't learn in Christianity. Okay. And that's the reason why we, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, we confound the Christians, because the Christians, they don't know the Bible, okay? The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Bible was given unto the Israelites, all right? In particular, the Lord's servants, all right? The prophets, okay? Which also known as seers, okay? All the servants of the Lord, all right, men of the Lord that are that are a part of the body, we know these scriptures, all right, because we've been taught by the right teachers, okay, from Abba on down to the elder apostles we have today that teaches us this word, all right, in truth and sincerity, and like I said, double honors to those men. Okay, so let's dive into it. Okay, I want to get right into it. Fair use, by the way. But you know, you could click. I'm gonna try to put I'm gonna try to put a link in the description box, but you probably can see it better when you watch it for yourself. As far as the chariots are running to and fro. But I'll do my best to leave a description box or description link for you brothers. So let's get into the scriptures, because as stated in the book of 2 Kings 2 and 2, 2 Kings chapter 2 and verse 11, you know, Elisha, you know, he called it the chariot of Israel, which had abducted, if you will, all right, they came down and have abducted the prophet Elijah, and Elisha was standing there. All right, he said this, right, 2 Kings 2 and 11, and it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof, which are the angels. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in two pieces. So this is what the prophet, Elijah, all right, experienced, all right, being taken up into heaven in the chariot, while you had Elisha. He was right with Elijah, and he was observing as the angels, all right, took Elijah up in the chariot into heaven. See? And this is something that even the small hatters, they can't tell you what these so-called UFOs are. But, you know, they claim to be, you know, us. They claim to be the people of the Lord. Well, the people of the Lord are supposed to know, all right, what the so-called UFOs are, which are the chariots, again. And to prove that, you know, just like Elisha said, the chariot of Israel, to prove that they're supposed to know what they are, it's the book of Jeremiah 10. Okay, Jeremiah 10 and 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. All right, Yasha'Allah says, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So when you look up and you see the chariots, bear with me 1 second, grab something to drink. You know, when you look up at the chariots, the so-called UFOs, you're supposed to know exactly what those are. You're supposed to automatically know, okay, them the chariots of Israel. Just like, excuse me, just like the song that one of the Gadites sung, I always get his name mixed up, is Wallace Willis, swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Okay, singing it in the field during hardcore slavery. You know, swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. You read into that song, the lyrics, all right, it's speaking about being taken back to the land of Israel, pretty much by way of the chariot. I look over the river of Jordan, what do I see? You know, that's the land of Israel. See? So we're not dismayed at them, because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai have made us aware, all right, of, you know, what's going on through his word. All right, through the Lord's word, we understand, because the Lord have given us understanding. The Lord say he will make us of quick understanding. So he made us of quick understanding to know exactly who and what they are. See? And the angels and the chariots play a major part of, you know, prophecy when it comes down to, you know, delivering the elect and the rest of the remnant of the children of Israel. Right? And then also they play a major part of the destruction, all right, of Babylon. Okay? So when you go into the scriptures, Let me see here. Let me get this. It's a few of them I can get. I'm gonna get the ones that comes to mind because I couldn't find my pen and paper. I want to write down a few precepts, so I'm pretty much doing this one raw. Second Ezra 13, and I'm gonna jump down. Let's go to second Ezra 13, and starting at 6. Yes, let's go to verse 6. It says, "But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it." It's talking about the massive chariot, right? This is speaking about when Yahushua appeared with the angels, and the Yahushua going to appear in that massive chariot he's going to appear in, right? Verse 7, "But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not," because this is the terminology that they use. And it was the way it looked like a mountain was coming out of the firmament, out of the skies. All right, this is what Esdras, said it was, because that's the terminology that they used back during those times. Okay, verse 8, "And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him," him being the him being the Messiah, Yahushua, the Redeemer of Israel, right? His name is Yahushua. Okay, Yahushua is the Redeemer of Israel. He's going to come back and gather together his elect. Okay, it says, "And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet there's fight." So these so-called UFOs, okay, again, all right, they're a major part of prophecy. They're going to come, okay, and fight against Esau and the armies that are upon the earth. Okay, the chariots, all right, are going to fight, these different militaries that's going to turn and fight against them. All right, and when you read into this, event, it says it's going to be nothing but the dust and the smell of smoke. Okay, it speaks about. Well, you know what? Let's read it. Verse 9, "And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon them. It fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon of a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid," because they're going to obliterate the armies of the earth. All right, because see, the chariots play a part of the armies of the Lord. Okay, and they're going to obliterate the earthly armies that's going to turn and fight against them. Okay, because what's going to come out is those concentrated laser beams of fire. All right, zapping people. This is where you have those movies. We always mention the movies to give you a visual or a visual idea of what it's going to be like War of the Worlds. There are movies like that involve so-called UFOs. Excuse me. That show you, fire coming out of them. Okay, so they're going to issue that fire when the Lord give them that green light. All right, this is the book of Zechariah 5. I'm gonna get that. And the small hats, they don't talk about this again. And this is right here, reading out of the Tanakh, which are the writings of the prophets. It says Zechariah 5:1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. See, which what people call a saucer-shaped UFO. okay, but it's a so-called UFO. To us, it's an IFO, identifiable flying object. But until you other people out there that don't know what they are, mainly you heathen, they're unidentifiable to you. And then you have, Jake, they lollygagging and bullshitting. They don't realize what they are. They just made at them. So some of our own people are actually dismayed at the signs of heaven because they're not in their right minds, Now, let me jump down to verse 2 and get to the point right in verse 3. It says, "And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For, because you know why? When the chariots come out, because the curse is really just evil from the Lord that the Lord had cast upon you. Okay? Evil simply means bad. All right, something bad that's going to happen to you because of what the Lord has in judgment or in store for you as far as judgment. Okay, that's simply what it is. The Lord put curses upon us. We still under the curses, which is evil. Evil come from the Lord. All right, just like Job said, "Hey, shall we receive good from the Most High and not evil?" Because Job understood that. But this evil, all right, this curse that's going to come upon the whole earth, all right, which is the chariots, are going to terrify the people that are upon the face of the earth. All the inhabitants are going to be afraid. Okay, just like you see in the movie War of the Worlds, man. You're going to see people running to and fro, being afraid because they're going to be zapping a lot of people, man. All right, the chariots, man, that have the angels in them, right? They're going to get busy. Them angels, they do the Most High's, will. All right, when he instruct them and give them order, they don't get emotional and think about it. They just do it, okay? It says, let me get that real quick too. Let me finish this up. It says, Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stood it shall be cut off as on this side, according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side, according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that swear falsely by my name. Ultimately, that's Esau, man. All right. Esau, like I said, Esau is a thief, man. The biggest thief the earth has ever seen, man, or known, okay? Throughout the earth, being inhabited, Esau is the biggest thief ever, okay? And the Most High has the greatest judgments for the house of Esau, Edom, okay? Excuse me. The greatest judgments as far as when it comes down to destruction are coming for the house of Esau, Edom, okay? Now, I mentioned the angels, right? They don't get emotional and think about carrying out the Most High's commandment. They just do it, right? Ecclesiastes 39 and verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. See? They're going to pour out their force when the Most High Father give them that green light. This is why the Space Force was created. All right, Esau know the chariots that has the angels in them constantly coming out, in and out of the earth. Okay, because that's a matter of fact. The angels are. I'm coming back to that precept. The angels. All right, they're known as the eyes of the Lord. Now, Zechariah 4 and 10. It says, right to the point, Zechariah 4 and 10. For who hath despised the day of small things? For they shall rejoice and shall see the plummet in the hand of Zerubbabel with those 7. They are the eyes of the Lord, which run to and fro through the whole earth. And that's talking about the angels. Okay? The eyes of the Lord, all right, which you go to the book of Proverbs. Let me see here. Proverbs, I believe it's Proverbs 15:3. It says, Proverbs 15:3. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good, because the angels report to the Most High. Okay, they report to the Most High, and the Most High knows everything, man. It's not like he needs them to. This is how the Heavenly Father set up his operation. Okay, he don't need no one to do anything. But this is the way he wants it. This is the way he ordered it. Okay? All right, everyone needs him. All right, he don't need us. Okay? But the eyes of the Lord are those angels, man. Okay, that come to and fro throughout the earth. Again, it says, Ecclesiastes 39:28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Well, let me jump down to 31, because that's the point I wanted to make too. And 31 says, they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. That's the point. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. All right, this is the point I want to make. They're not going to transgress the Most High's word. The Most High give them a order to carry out. They're going to do just that. They ain't going to get emotional and say, "Oh no, Lord, it's one of thy people." No, the Lord going to send them angels out, and they're going to get busy. Hey, Ezekiel 9. What's it? Ezekiel 9:6. Ezekiel is a good example of that, right? Now, I'm going to read verse 4 through 6, right? Ezekiel 9:4. It says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Now that word there is the Y. We know that, right? For the M-A-R-K word, okay? Verse 5, and to the others he said in mine hearing, and this is what the Lord told the angels to do, okay? And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. See? Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. So the Lord told the angels to do this, man, and they're going to do this in this time coming. You know, they're going to get busy, all right? And it says, you know, old and young, maids, and little children and women, okay? It's going to be a lot of death that's going to come, all right, upon this earth, okay? Because wickedness had exceedingly polluted the earth, okay? And so as a measurement of correction, all right, or a part of, I should say, a part of that measurement of correction, when the Lord is going to punish the people he want to punish, all right, it's going to be one of the methods is going to be is sending those angels in the chariots, all right, to get those individuals, okay, whom the Lord wants to get, okay, or whom the Lord puts a hit out on. Because that's really what it is, okay. And that angel of the Lord ain't gonna transgress. Again, when I read in Ecclesiastes, the angels of the Lord do not transgress his word. They obey because they know what time it is. He's the Most High, man. Can't go against the Most High. Are you stupid? They don't get all emotional and in their feelings. They just carry it out. They carry out the hit. Just like you see hitmen in movies, they don't be emotional. They go. All right, they go hit their target and they go their way. Okay, same with the angels. You know, they're the hitmen for the Lord. Okay, and they're gonna get busy, man. I'm telling you, man. It's amazing how you know, people are dismayed at the angels in the chariots, man. Okay, but the angels, you know, and they're gonna stand firm and hold their ground too. example come to mind. Let's go to Numbers 22. the, the angel stood in the way of Balak, of I mean to say Balaam. Let me see. Let me get this, man, because the Lord caused an ass, all right, which is a donkey. Another word for ass is donkey, to see the angel because Balaam wanted him to go, or continue on his journey, and the ass or donkey seen the angel and told him, hey, I can't go no further than here, because why? The angel of the Lord was there. All right, now check this out. Numbers 22. And I'm gonna start at 21. I'm gonna bounce around a little bit, right? Numbers 22 and 21. And Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass and went with the princes of Moab. And God's anger was kindled because he went. And the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his 2 servants were with him. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. So the angel was ready to what? To get busy. The angel was going to smite them. He was going to slay them. Now check this out, right? It says, as the ass turned aside out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way. But the angel of the Lord stood in the path of the vineyards, a wall being on this side and a wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself onto the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he smote her again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place where was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. Verse 27. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with a staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, and she said to Balaam, what have I done unto thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said unto the ass, because thou hast mocked me. I'm getting a little excited, Shalaki. And Balaam said unto the ass, because thou hast mocked me, I would there were a sword in my hand, for now would I kill thee. And the ass said unto Balaam, am not I thine ass, upon which thou hast ridden ever since I was thine unto this day? Was I ever wont to do so unto thee? And he said, nay. Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed down his head and fell flat on his face. Because why? That angel was standing there and finna smite everybody, including that ass or that donkey. See? And this is exactly why Esau is preparing to fight against the angels, all right, with the rest of the armies of the earth, because they know what's up. Those angels in them chariots, man, they're not technology or equipment of this world. And every time you see them capturing the angels in the chariots going to and fro on earth, they're disappearing. They're disappearing, appearing wherever they want to appear at, that they define gravity that's known to man. They can't even figure out or fathom the speed they're going. They don't know the trajectory that they can turn, and they don't know anything about the chariots, man. The Most High didn't give that to Esau. And this is why he's scared, because his blessing is a sword, and the only thing he knows to do is to try to make the best sword he can to try and fight. And that sword gonna still fail. You know, we used to watch videos of them shooting at the chariots and stuff. Videos from across seas. And nothing ever happened. Okay? These so-called UFOs are the clouds that Yahweh Shai will be returning in and with the rest of them around them. Okay? So, and that's in, a few precepts, right? I read one in 2nd Esdras, right? It's also, in Revelation 1 and 7. All right. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Okay. And the clouds are the chariots, man. Okay. Even himself, all right, Yahweh Shai himself was taken up in the chariot. And the disciples looked at him and said, they was gazing, and the angel said, why stand ye let me get it. I'm butchering this stock here. It's an Acts. I bring this up a lot, this precept, but hey, it must come up because it's a good example of the chariots, all right, in the scriptures, okay? Acts 1, and this is right after they asked him when he's going to restore the kingdom to Israel, right? Acts 1, I'm going to start at verse 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. See, that's a metaphor for the chariot. See? Verse 10. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, ye men of Galilee, you Israelites, right? Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye? That's how you know the Israelites supposed to know that the chariots, all right, that have the angels in them, okay? Because these two men that were standing in white apparel was the angels, man. This is a clear example of the Israelites knowing who the angels and the chariots are. Okay. I read the one in 2 Kings 2 with Elisha and Elijah, but this is another example. There's other examples I can bring up too. If you're the people of the Lord, you're supposed to know this. Okay, it says, and while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahweh Shai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Meaning what? He's going to return. You see him go up on his chariot, he's going to come back on the chariot. That's what I was reading about in 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. When he appeared in Esdras called it a mountain, because the chariot is so massive. We always bring up the Independence Day movie with the massive chariot in it, so-called UFO, right? Because that's kind of how the vision of Esdras, when you visualize it, that's how it looked. Now you gotta think about it. These small hats, right, are the so-called the so-called Jews, right? They make movies, pertaining to the Bible. Okay, because they know the ideas from these movies don't come out of thin air. Okay, they know what's going on. And scripture say, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. See? So he's going to come back from heaven in the chariot as well. Okay, and then also, again, knowing what Yahweh Shai coming to do as well, he's going to, like I said, he's going to get busy on Esau and the militaries, right? Him, going to have the archangel Michael and the rest of the angels after him, they're going to get busy, man. Matthew 24, and I believe that's verse 30. Matthew 24 and 30, it says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. See? The clouds, the chariots, right? And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Yeah, that's the strangest. Let me get that. That's the strangest of his salvation. Talking about the elect, man. The righteous, which is the sons of Jacob, the 144,000. All right. Then you have the rest of the remnant that's going to meet this. That's going to experience this strange. All right. The strange. All right. Abduction. You know what I'm saying? That's the word I'm using, because it's understandable, right? The word abduct or abduction. Okay. Now, Salaki, I can't speak too good. I'll be trying to speak a little way you can understand me, because I have a country slur I grew up with. So Salaki if I mispronounce words. So, but the point I wanted to make was, okay, the strangeness of his salvation, okay, for the elect of the house of Jacob. They're gonna get beamed up on these so-called UFOs. I just read that he's gonna gather his elect, okay, and this is how they're gonna gather them, with the clouds, the chariots, right? And Wisdom of Solomon backs that up, right? Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. Which is who? The sons of Israel. Yasha Allah. All right. Bun Yasha Allah Yum. Okay, to make it plural. All right. Is or I should say Shlakia. I probably pronounced that wrong. Bunyam Yasha Allah. Our sons of Israel. Okay. That's probably how I should say it. Shlakia. I ain't, like I said, I ain't the best speaker, Shlakia. But you brothers know what I'm saying. Sons of Israel. Okay? Because Bun is son, Yum make it plural, so that's why I said Bun Yum Yasha Allah, sons of Israel, okay? Now, we're the righteous men, or men, I should say. We've been afflicted by who? Esau and the rest of our adversaries to our nation. They have afflicted us and still afflicting us to this very day. Verse 2, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. Remember what I read in 2nd Ezra 13? They were sore afraid. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. See? Because why? They're not going to expect these so-called UFOs to come and beam up, all right, 12,000 men of each tribe, 12,000 Judah, 12,000 Issachar, 12,000 Ephraim, 12,000 Levi, 12,000 Gad, 12,000 Reuben, 12,000 Simeon, 12,000 Naphtali, 12,000 Zebulun, 12,000 Benjamin, so on and so forth. Okay. But this is, hold on, bear me 1 second. Bear me 1 second. I wanted to turn that off because I'm in sleeper mode, but I know it makes a lot of noise when I do my videos at the end of the day. I try to do them by the end of the day when I have the time to, as long as I have enough time, rather. But like I said, 12,000 each tribe, and the rest of the remnant are going to be delivered by way of the so-called UFOs, which are the chariots. All right. So we know exactly what they are. We can explain. All right, we can explain what they are, because why? Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai has set up his men, all right, to explain, all right, and to declare what they are. So call halal Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash, for that, because it's because of the Heavenly Father through his Son and through the Holy Spirit that we get understanding. All right, from the men that was set up to teach us to know these things. And I myself is thankful. And I'm sure you Akim and you Akwaf out there that understand this truth, I'm sure you're thankful as well. To Wali Yahweh Shai for for giving us this knowledge, we're truly indebted. This is precious knowledge that we have. All right. So, Lord willing, this video have been edifying. I want to say Shalom, Bachaya, Yasha Allah, to the elect of Israel, and Shalom to you and Bob Abal. Okay, Shalom.